R1.
What's the matter?
We're surrounded. I see 4 of them.
We've got company. It's the Ocelot unit. Let's get out of here. Hurry. Don't forget your gear. Here, give me a hand. We can use this to get to the basement. Damn it, Ocelot. I'll get past them on my bike. I'll call you later.
Okay, I'll keep them busy. Huh?
Don't go dying on me now.
It's a good thing none of that face paint rubbed off. Well, this is what's going on now while we were in the middle of talking about video essays during the cutscene going on there. But yeah, if I do a future video essay, the next one would probably be like Pokemon Legends ZA, just to see if that goes somewhere. But I mean, even my Pokemon essays have kind of been losing interest as time has gone on. Like the first one that I did of like just the Switch era of Pokemon in general at the time, million views. Pokemon BDSP, million views. Pokemon Legends Arceus, I think it was like 360,000 something views. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, about 200,000 something views. My Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, 9,000 views. It's been going down ever since the beginning there, and I couldn't even. Did I ever even break 10K? I haven't checked it for a while on the Scarlet and Violet DLC. It's like, oh well, maybe this stuff just doesn't really pop off anymore. Maybe there's isn't that much traffic around that kind of thing there. But yeah, sadly, the algorithm on YouTube nowadays just recommends people what they want to hear. Either you completely disagree with the internet or fully agree, no middle ground. That is what it feels like sometimes. And I also, there's a lot of stuff that I could talk about when it comes to video essay. I should have done the Pal World video essay. If I do a Pokemon Legends ZA, I would mention a little bit about Pal World just for like the what's going on with the Pokemon company since the last time we talked about this, and you know, the whole lawsuits and stuff like that. Yeah, that is oftentimes the case there. Sometimes one of the things that stood out to me, sometimes I still get like a decent few new comments on those video essays. I've had ones recently where people are like, it seems like you're biased or these arguments are in bad faith. And it's like, what does that even mean? Like, I want the bad parts of a product to be improved upon and be better, and the good parts to remain the same. I'm just a consumer. I don't have like any inherent bias here. I don't have anything to gain from the game's being bad, and I'm just kind of confused. And it kind of reminds me about how, the comment sections of these videos aren't exactly the most insightful places, And sometimes that makes me wonder, like, is there all that much point preaching these kinds of ideas if it's going missed? I don't know. That's just a thought that was going through my head here recently when more stuff like that was coming up. But even in terms of like other video essays, like I've tried to do other video essays to try and be not just, you know, the Pokemon essay guy. My Roller Coaster Tycoon one had really popped off. Maybe I'd be able to do some more stuff like that. But trying to do more general ones like that. The one that I figured would have been like a really important kind of one to talk about was the Nintendo Switch 2 prices. Not to take like an extreme side and be like, hey, this is good, hey, this is bad, but to truly analyze it and be like, hey, what is going on with these prices? Let's try to truly understand it, see what's going on here, and try to get a good sense for what's going on, instead of just taking the route that every other YouTuber seemed to do, of taking things at face value and being like, ah, man, this sucks, they're so evil, how dare they do that, where it's like, okay, no, it's actually a little bit more complicated than that. So it can also be really frustrating and kind of demoralizing as a content creator sometimes, when you see all these massive creators that just turn on a camera, say, this is the way that it is, at face value, that's all it is. It doesn't go any deeper than that. Man, it sucks. And there's like all the comments that are like, man, you're right, it so sucks. Like, it really is just the way it is at face value. And then I try to take what, like a month or two that I was working on that to actually truly unpack it and figure out the economics of it all and try to explain it in a way where it's like, okay, yeah, this is pretty nuanced and complicated. And, you can use the information presented to come to your own opinions. And it got what, like 500 views, something like that. I think it only just recently passed 500 views after it's been up for a couple months. So it's like, okay, well, if I put in all this effort, like, what the heck is the point even? So it can be really demoralizing at times. And part of me does wonder at times where it's like, do I keep on trying to make an effort to grow this channel? Because this channel, like the YouTube side of things, has been stagnant for the past 2 years. My sub count has been 22.6k subscribers for the past 2 years now. It hasn't changed because sometimes I get new subs from time to time, but people unsub from me at about the same rate as well. And sometimes I get comments like one that I got about a few weeks ago, where it's like, hey man, I love your video essays, but man, this playthrough stuff that keeps on coming out, I just can't deal with the notifications that come with that, so I have to unsubscribe from you. And it's like, oh, that's. And they'll ask like if I'd consider putting my playthrough stuff on a different channel. When it's like, my channel has always been a playthrough channel since like the very beginning, and then it was me throwing different things at the wall to see if I could try to grow it in some other way because playthrough stuff wasn't gonna grow my channel. So I'd try things like game guides, game compilations. Oh, like there's all sorts of old stuff that you can find on my channel during my phase of throwing stuff at the wall. Until eventually it was video essays that popped off. Video essays were the key to having my channel not be dead and was able to grow it for a while. But now it doesn't even do that anymore. And now I wonder, what should I do? And honestly, I've been debating a little bit about the idea of if I did make another video essay like Pokemon Legends ZA, about potentially putting it on a different channel and just trying and seeing what happened if I did make video essays on a different channel and that grew. And then, hey, great, maybe I make revenue off of content creation again one day. Like maybe there's a chance of that. Like maybe it's worth trying out. And then just be content with my main channel here just remaining dead, I guess. I don't know. so, so that's been something that I've been thinking about. So if I do a Legends ZA video essay, I don't know if I would go on this channel or a different channel just for the sake of trying out. Because it seems like continuing to try to make video essays on this channel and continuing to try and grow it as a business and a platform, I don't think is working out all that well, and I've kind of largely lost the motivation of trying to do it, is kind of the case here. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on here with a lot of that stuff. Here's just a smaller project to help you get back into the swing of things. Do a quick 10 to 15 minute video essay on a somewhat random topic. Yeah, I'd probably get a kick out of doing something like that. It wouldn't take me too long to make. There were some of those that I've made before, but they were like university projects, so they weren't really as much like passion, just something small for me to talk about there. Maybe it's something that I could definitely try here. Let's see here. Well, I'll tab off and scroll up a little bit now. I personally saw my algorithm trying to heavily recommend videos bashing on pirate software when the whole internet turned against them. But I personally care less about that internet drama. But that kind of stuff does so well in the algorithm. People love internet drama. People, especially, I can't words, especially when it's something against someone else. Like if there's something that's putting something or someone on a pedestal and like, wow, isn't this so great? That's not gonna get recommended by the algorithm all that much. But things that are like, man, this is the worst thing ever, they kind of get pushed in the algorithm a decent bit. That might be one of the reasons why my Pokemon essays popped off, when I'm really not trying to take the stance that everything is awful, everything sucks, but that's the way that a lot of them are seen sometimes, even though it's not what I'm trying to go for. Do you think smaller 30 to 40 minute videos will do good, plus take way less work, like try to condense your thoughts into that length if possible? That's what my most recent video essay was. That's the, if I go ahead and open a tab here, like, what was it, like 40 minutes? Something like that? And that's, oh, no, it was an hour, 21 minutes. I forgot there kept on being more and more things that I wanted to say. But, I mean, some examples of some shorter ones that I tried to do would have been, like, these three were technically ones that were also university assignments, and my university assignment versions had to be under 10 minutes. So this one, what you're seeing, is basically the same thing I submitted for one of my classes. This one is like, well, there's a few more things I'd like to say if I can take my time here. And then this one, there's so much stuff I want to say if I can take longer than 10 minutes. But I do have like a 10-minute version of this like kicking around as unlisted. So, while these are university projects and not necessarily just something that I'm doing on my own just for the sake of doing it, I do still think that I still try to make them entertaining videos and stuff like that, and they don't really go much of anywhere. Hey, look, this broke 10k views. That's crazy. And then I tried to do another like very in-depth video essay, kind of like the Roller Coaster Tycoon one or my Pokemon ones, but for Xenoblade this time. And this took me a long time to make. This one can't break 10K. It cannot. And what was interesting is it actually started getting a lot of steam when it first came out, and there was quite a few Twitter threads that were made about this video and how it's the worst thing ever, and some people were coming and checking it out from that. So it was gaining traction on other platforms of people talking about it. And then after that little wave, it just kind of stopped and didn't really continue past that point. And then this one where it's like I really want to take the time to really talk about what's going on with prices and inflation and tariffs and manufacturing costs and all the complicated situations going on with that, and really, try to get people to be a little bit more informed because, love or hate Nintendo, I don't care. I really don't. This wasn't me trying to be like, man, they're like the best company ever, or man, they're the worst company ever. Though more often than not, I am definitely criticizing Nintendo because they are a pretty shitty company. But I did want to make sure that people weren't just seeing things as like black and white. I want to, you know, take the time to actually go in depth, unlike what so many other content creators are doing. That I'm not going to name any names, but when I said in the video that I wasn't naming any names, I did have some creators in mind that just, you know, portray things at face value, like, oh, the prices went up. This is Nintendo's fault. They're so evil. How could they do this? This is so bad at them. It's like, no, there's a lot more stuff involved than just that. It's not that black and white. So yeah, it can be a really demoralizing kind of thing sometimes when, creator just turns on a camera, says things are at face value, that garners millions of views and becomes like the narrative going around. But when someone actually tries to really analyze it and try to truly dissect the way that is, I'm at 557 views. Like, and at the same time, I have these thoughts go through my mind sometimes, and I also need to recognize the fact that anybody that's tuning into this stream or watching any of my videos could be doing literally anything else with that time, and they are choosing to spend their time here. Like, this is something that I have to be grateful for. I shouldn't be going into things with any expectations and be disappointed when things don't meet my expectations. So then I start bashing myself thinking, am I in the wrong? Am I being like arrogant here by having like some sort of expectations in the back of my head? Just thinking that I'm entitled to something and needing to remember that like I shouldn't be entitled to anything, and then like continuing to bash myself for potentially developing this toxic mindset. And it just got me into this like whirlpool of thoughts that is like, man, this sucks. I'm not doing well enough. Should I be feeling like it sucks and that I'm not doing well enough? Should I feel entitled to be doing better? Is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with my mentality? And then a lot of this kind of stuff just has me spiraling into, these ruts of thoughts that have honestly made me think about quitting content creation sometimes. So yeah, if I was just starting out from the beginning here again, just thinking about potentially streaming on the side for fun and starting this all again, I don't know whether I would or not. Like, I do like to think that if I gave it some proper thought, I would say yes, I would, especially when you consider the things like the good that this channel has done, like, raising over $10,000 for charities. That's amazing. That's so awesome. Isn't that so cool? And then I need to quell these thoughts of like, I really shouldn't be quitting because like, look at what an amazing force for good it can be. I shouldn't be regretting that. But it does put me into a little bit of a negative mental spiral at times here and make me wonder, what is the approach from here, both in terms of what my next steps as a content creator are and my next steps in terms of how do I approach this mentality wise? Like, is this bad of me to have these thoughts, or is it just natural? Anyway, let's see here. So those have been a lot of thoughts that have been going through my head sometimes here. Yeah, that video was amazing. I loved it, but saddens me that it didn't pop off when compared to all the other videos that were so extremist like you described. Yeah, maybe it's because it's not a thing that's like, these that are very dramatic. Oh, this actually passed 300 views now. Oh, and this is close to 500,000. That's cool. It's growing a little bit since the last time I checked it. This is at 1.2 mil. These things are very dramatic and show very clearly this isn't all that great. This is less dramatic. Maybe that's one of the reasons why it doesn't get as many clicks. I tried to have a very similar dramatic thing going on here, and this is a very a thumbnail that has a strong sense of mixed bag, because there was a lot of things that I did actually like about the Scarlet and Violet DLC, so I wanted to reflect that and be like, hey, this is a mixed bag here. Like, it's unfinished. There's still some major problems here, but there was like some cool things going on with the true hero Kieran and stuff like that. And so maybe because it wasn't a face value kind of extremist thing, then it didn't go as well. This was a similar thing where it's kind of on the fence style of the Legends Arceus one, where it's like, hey, it's sort of extremist, but also has like some positivity here. It doesn't say that it's an inherently weak story. It says it's the weakest story of the series and stuff like that. Maybe that's not extremist enough. Like, what do you do to pop off? And if you're just doing things that are covering like general industry topics like this, or a specific game's element like environmental narrative and Metroid Prime, or industry topics like these, do they really go anywhere? Are the things that get views just, this kind of stuff that's really added on a singular topic? And on that note, is me doing all my playthrough stuff that I do here hurting my odds here? Look, this was my stream last night. Hurting my chances of being recommended in the algorithm for just this stuff. Like, if I had just this stuff on a separate channel, would that be pushed more? Would there people be more inclined to subscribe if they think that there isn't all this stuff going on that they don't want to see? And should I do a separate channel and try it out? And like, I could still put those videos in this same playlist and it would still appear on like the main channel here, but is it worth going for? It's also a little bit of a gamble because starting a new channel means that's not monetized and it needs to grow to like 1,000 subscribers and I think 12,000 watch hours in the last year before you can monetize it. So I wouldn't be generating any revenue on it at all, and it would be automatically filled with ads, just completely bombarded. And then people would complain about the ads, be like, why are there so many ads? Because when YouTube automatically puts on ads, they put a freaking bazillion on there everywhere. I would have no control over it, and I wouldn't get anything out of it unless I was able to hit a threshold. So even if I did do a new channel, it would be a major gamble, and it's a weird thing, man. But yeah, how does it still only have 557 views after 2 months? Such a good video, and yet it didn't go anywhere. Modern day internet is truly ruined. Yeah, sometimes it can feel like that. I appreciate the 1,000 bits there, Guzma. Bringing it up to 1,100 for the stream. Yeah, keeping the lights on here. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I still need to find a job here. But I greatly appreciate the 1,000 bits there, Guzma. Yeah, clickbait titles and thumbnails and others, I absolutely hate it. Yeah, like, I don't really want to go down that approach, but that is kind of the things that pop off the most. Like, this isn't necessarily clickbait in the sense of, like, that's not the things that we talk about, because we do. But, when I try to be a little bit more genuous and be like, hey, mixed bag going on here, mixed bag going on here, it just doesn't really go much anywhere. And I thought that this would be, like, a good kind of extreme look where it's like, it's good if you don't think about it. Where it's like, is that truly what I think? Not really. Is it a little bit more extreme version of what I think for the sake of making a more popping thumbnail? Absolutely, yes it is. But, I don't know. I thought that was a pretty clever use of thumbnail there. Is it clickbaiting because of that? Maybe a little bit. But yeah, I don't know here. You do have to play the game to some extent if you care about views/success on YouTube. Yeah, that is true. YouTube doesn't like having different types of content on one channel. Maybe make a different one for video essays. Yeah, I might just end up doing that. Like, so maybe if I do one for Pokemon Legends ZA, maybe that'll be the next big experiment to try out on a second channel. Is there any chance of growing it as a second channel? Because trying to do like my playthrough and video essay mix on this channel has brought me up to this point, and this is where I've been at for like the past 2 years or something like that. If you look at like my Social Blade page, it's just gonna show me as this for like years. It hasn't changed. So yeah, there's been absolutely no growth. It just kind of breaks even with new people subscribing from occasionally seeing a video essay, matching about the rate of people unsubscribing because they get tired of my playthroughs, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, sadly, you want to paint a full picture, not just black and white, full colors. Yeah, but apparently, the thing that the algorithm likes a whole lot more is when things are black and white, unfortunately there. An anonymous gifter gave Azzy29 a tier 1 sub. I greatly appreciate the gifted sub there, an anonymous gifter. And welcome on into Team Harmonic, Azzy, enjoy a month of the emotes and sub badge. And what month is that now, apparently? Apparently that is a 7-month subscription. Cool. But yeah. It's not arrogant, well, forget my random puberty there. It's not arrogant necessarily, but if you want success, sadly, you need to care about views. That's true. So it kind of gets you to prioritize shit that doesn't really matter in real life, but then again, we all need money. Yeah, that's true there, and it is something that I also potentially have to consider more while I'm still job hunting. I've been job hunting very actively since, like, April of this year. I would have thought that being in university for 7 years and spending the absurd amount of money that I did on 7 years of university, I'd be able to find a job. I'd be able to find a job in my field. I got a job in, I would look for a job in computing science because that was my educational background. I figured everyone's always looking for computer people. No, especially not in this day and age with generative AI replacing so many entry-level jobs. It's just the whole craziness of a post-COVID world and everything that's going on with that. And I greatly appreciate Guzma gifting a sub to DS Shock Trooper there for 347 gift subs. DS Shock Trooper, welcome probably back into Team Ed Harmonic. Oh no, that's not a back-in. That's a 1-month resub. With how long you've been to the stream here, I would have thought that you probably would have randomly gotten gifted a sub at one point, but apparently that's the... Wait, is it 1 month? No, it's not. It just shows up in my alert box as 1 month for some reason. It's a 2-month thing, so you have gotten gifted a sub before. Okay, that's weird. My alerts just show differently here. Oh, let me catch up here. If I were to point fingers, it would definitely be at YouTube and the internet we have nowadays at large. Now, and there's another thing where Bob, Anonymous gifting a sub to Saint Jam. That is definitely gotta be a resub there, right? I greatly appreciate the gift sub. An anonymous gifter. An anonymous gifter does not need to feel obligated for gifting more subs because I'm currently job hunting. I'm still financially stable. Like, I don't have any debts or anything. I'm very grateful and very lucky to be in a position where I could graduate university without having any debts. But yeah, I do gotta start working one of these days. But I greatly appreciate the gift sub there, an anonymous gifter. And Sate, that is a, what is that? 9-month sub. Wow. Oh, let's see here. If I would point fingers, it would definitely be at YouTube and the internet we have nowadays at large. Nowadays, everything is algorithms to maximize views at the detriment of quality, as well as the internet being so centralized. Yeah, that's kind of the way that it feels. Where it's like, if you do take, like, talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 prices, for example. A super black and white take that's just like, man, the prices went up. They are just so dang greedy. It's unbelievable. Stop supporting this shitty company. Is my chat box off, by the way? I'm realizing here. Because nothing's... Am I going crazy here? Oh, the thing that I saw on the side of the screen was Guzma redeeming time yourself out for 10 minutes. This is what it was. That's why it didn't show up on the screen, because alerts don't appear on the thingamabob. Okie doke, enjoy the 10-minute timeout there, Guzma. Boopity. Whoops, apparently I don't know how to spell things, it looks like. Boop. Enjoy the timeout there. But yeah. But yeah, as an example of that, where it's like, someone does something black and white, that is going to get pushed a whole lot more as everyone wants to hop on the bandwagon of, man, this company is so greedy, they suck, let's, do all this stuff against them, which I completely get that. I am someone that despises Nintendo as a company, and I would naturally feel inclined to hop onto that bandwagon because I hate Nintendo, It would be very easy to jump onto that kind of bandwagon and feel good to do so because it would validate my pre-existing beliefs. But to truly take the time to delve into and truly understand it takes a lot more work. It took me a long time of research to figure out what the hell was going on here, and even then, I don't think that this is comprehensive. I think Finn put it in a really good way. Finn and I were talking about this. My friend from Germany that's visiting right now. He said all the, like, it doesn't have to be specifically for this, but just complicated matters like that in general, is the smart people that truly know these things aren't the ones that are making content. And that is true. The ones that are smart and truly know these things are probably busy with, like, full-time jobs in their related field, most likely, rather than being on the internet making videos on this kind of thing. And I thought that that was something, that is probably very true that he mentioned there. Like, the people that do truly understand this aren't really speaking about it, and those that do probably aren't going to be going much of anywhere compared to those that treat it as black and white. I wish I knew this stuff better, but I consider myself one of the dumb ones that... But at least I'm a dumb one that tried to understand what the heck is going on here. But yeah, being subscribed to Honest Ads is peak, not gonna lie. Oh, they're live, apparently. Most of my ones I'm subscribed to, it shows live here. Like, the ones that are live go at the top. They're usually music channels. What's Honest Ads live with? Do we want to find out? Nah, let's not do that right now. Let's see here. Oh god, not going Watch Mojo. Not like Watch Mojo, go outside Xbox. Oh, for the content format, I skipped some things here. Appease the algorithm. Do a list of the top 10 best games you've played through the channel. Also see top 10 worst games. As terrible as it would be, there is a small part of me that has thought about doing that just to see what happens in the algorithm. Let's go Watch Mojo. But yeah, let's see here. Looking for a game design job? I was. But the gaming industry is just so dang cursed right now. I was actually just talking with Greg Zeschuk about that the other day, who is one of the founders of BioWare. My dad and Finn and I, like, Greg and my dad know one another from the beer industry because after Greg left BioWare, he got involved with the beer industry and now he has his own brewery called Blind Enthusiasm Brewing. So while Finn was visiting here from Germany, my dad asked Greg, "Can we have a tour of your brewery so the German can go see the brewery?" So while we were at the bar there after the tour there, I was chatting with Greg a little bit, and yeah, he was saying that, the gaming industry is just so awful right now, essentially. He had recommended that I look into like general computing positions remotely because of how difficult it is to find stuff here, like find stuff across the country or maybe in the States for remote positions. And that is some good advice. Like maybe I should look into some stuff like that. Um, Also, I guess neither here nor there, but think about that brewery. The friggin' doors for their barrel rooms look like a video game boss, and I like the eye theming going on with it. Anyway, it was kind of cool to see there. But yeah, so even those that are like very familiar with the industry, like him, even though he's not directly involved with it anymore, know that it's very cursed right now. So I'm just kind of generally looking into computing positions in general, but it's not really panning out. So I'm also looking into things like greenhouse and plant related things. I'm looking into mechanical stuff. I'm looking into bartending related positions because I have a little bit of experience as a bartender from the time that I worked for my dad's contract brewing company. So it's probably expired now, but I have my pro serve. I can serve people alcohol. I know how to cut people off when they look like they're a little bit too had a little bit too many drinks. So I've been looking into anything just related to slight interests or previous skills that I have, and I'm not finding anything here. Let me scroll down and see what else I missed here. But yeah. What about a video essay on the Clippy movement? What's the Clippy movement? I've noticed you changed your Discord profile picture to Clippy. Is it something to do with that? Yeah, I understand it's easier just to think binary, good versus evil, etc. But life ain't that way, sadly. And the fact that the algorithm is pushing towards binary thinking does create a worry, some precedent for the people to come. Yeah, I can absolutely agree with that. And that is far from a YouTube exclusive issue. That is very much a social media in general issue, I would argue. Like, there are definitely topics a lot more important than video games that platforms kind of make pushes for people to feel more extremely on one side and not want to regard the other side all that much with the way that the algorithm pushes stuff. Part of the Clippy movement over at Discord. Smart people interested in learning about it also aren't usually the ones commenting either. Yeah, that's also true. My YouTube and Discord profile pictures are Clippy right now. Same here both YouTube and Discord. What's the Clippy movement? I heard the game industry was way better in Canada. It might be in other places, but here, not really right now. Here in my local area, the big studios would be BioWare. They're not hiring right now. Inflection, apparently they're not doing all that great right now. And Beamdog. And I don't think that they are hiring right now unless anything has changed there. And we have a decent few indie studios around the city as well, but not really anything that was hiring. I already applied to like pretty much every indie studio in the city here a little while back. Like if I look up BioWare Edmonton. BioWare Edmonton. I think you can see that I've clicked on that before. I think they're just looking for an artist right now. Principal level designer, lead level designer. Oh, that be. That's new. They're not looking for an artist anymore. Maybe I'm thinking of Inflection. But 6+ years of level design work with level design experience on at least 2 AAA titles. Yeah, I'm not gonna have that. What's going on here? 6+ years of level design experience. Yeah. Inflection Edmonton. Inflection Games. And they're a cool studio. I've been to their studio before. They're a dog-friendly studio, so people bring their dogs to work and stuff. Do they not even have a careers page anymore? They might not. Oh, work with us? Work with us. Look at all these benefits. You should come work with us. And then they have, like, no positions. We are currently not recruiting. Check back again soon. Beamdog. You can see I've been on the careers page here. View current openings. Looking for a narrative designer and a senior technical artist. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to apply into those kinds of things. So that's the 3 major studios around here. I could look into remote positions, like with gaming stuff, and I have a little bit, but I do want, if I start out with this kind of industry, to actually have something in person and get hands-on experience and have those that can like show me a bit more directly. I find that in person is a lot better of a learning environment. I don't know if I'd be as comfortable with remote. I think sometime later down the line, I would love to have like a remote position and be able to have a work-life balance and work on other stuff like my channel projects and stuff like that. But to start out and truly get experience in either gaming or some other computing position, I would love to be doing something in person and really get hands-on experience. Um, yeah, I don't know about the Clippy movement. You see that Bubsy's getting a brand new game? No, what? I managed to get 6 people in as well. They personalized their Clippy instead of going vanilla like me, but I'll take it. Nowadays, the industry is so saturated with big corporations and execs dictating games a lot. Either do one person or a 2-person indie game, or you go full corpo. Yeah, there's not too much in between there. I mean, you could look at something like a Dark Deity team, which is like 6 people, but that's still on the range of like small things. One of the things that I was honestly surprised about was at GameCon, which I didn't go to this year because I'm not the biggest fan of them. But when I went last year and got to see like all the different indie studios that were showcasing their games at the event, I thought this would be a great chance to get to know some indie studios and look for potential job opportunities. But like 90% of the people that were showing off games at this event were like 1 to 4-person teams. There was a couple bigger studios like Beamdog was there, for example, showing off Mythforce, but most of the groups there were like 1 to 4-person teams that couldn't possibly think about bringing more people on. So that was something that was really quite surprising and interesting to learn while I was there. So there was that. This is going to be distracting if I keep that on. Clippy Movement was started by Louis Rossman. It's about going back to the day when software is there to help instead of just prioritizing stealing your info and making money through all and every means possible. Oh, so that's what it represents then. Clippy Movement is largely about consumer rights as well. In fact, they started a wiki dedicated to the shady stuff that companies do. Huh. Well, maybe I'm going to have a look-see there later. I also wonder, how do all these companies expect to get senior employees if they keep cutting all the newcomers and juniors with AI crap? Yeah, that is definitely a concern. Is there's a lot of companies that are kind of cutting out their entry level jobs and replacing with AI where they can, which means short-term gain, like they get to save a bunch of money right now and streamline the process and not have to worry about training new people. But it's going to hurt them down the line when they haven't trained up experienced people that they need in senior positions down the line. So short-term gain at the cost of long-term cost. It's not really thinking ahead per se. Like, this is such a weird time for both education and jobs. Like, I graduated last year, 2024, right at the beginning of like ChatGPT is starting to become really common and other generative AIs, and universities are starting to figure out, how do we deal with this now that this is a brand new thing. Now it's been ongoing for a while here, and I definitely do not envy those that are going through the education system growing up in this kind of world, like my cousin's kids. I just got a little bit of a taste of it at the very end of my academic journey. But, those that are kind of growing up in this, where it's like students automatically doing their assignments with generative AI, professors automatically marking assignments with generative AI. Where do you draw the line and how do you tell the difference and all sorts of crazy stuff like that. One of my classes on UI design was actually us helping design a interface that would allow professors to detect AI issues in students' papers, and it's like, I don't know if this is something I want to help design here. Um, since the projects we did in that class would be for actual groups to use, and that was certainly something. And of course, the implementation in the workplace and stuff like that. I used a little bit of generative AI during my research assistant position when I was working at the university that I took school at, where it's like, if I have a task of take this Excel sheet full of all these individual lists and separate them into their own Excel documents, that'd be like a 2-3 hour task on my own, which I probably should have just done like that because I was paid hourly. Or I can instead go make a Python program. I just don't know how to interface with like Excel. Let's just ask ChatGPT really quickly. How do I read and write from Excel? In fact, let's take it a step further. How much can you do? Can you do me a program that does exactly this and breaks it into a new document at this point? And it wouldn't be perfect, but it would come pretty close. And then I just bug fix it. And then it's like, hey, look, here's something that does the process automatically. And now I've just streamlined this entire workflow for this group that I'm working for the entire rest of the time they ever need to do this process. There were times that I do that, but it also makes me wonder, like, am I part of the problem? you know? I never used AI while studying. I did think for a time, but then I realized I wouldn't know what I was doing, so I never did it because what's the point? I do enjoy coding, and I wouldn't learn anything. Well, the way that I did it, this was only in like my final semester of university. So like January to April 2024, I decided to play around with it a little bit because one of my coworkers was advising me to do so, and I figured let's give it a go. If I'm trying to figure out how to do something really specific in, say, Python, I would need to go across, like, potentially however many different websites to understand it. Maybe I'm looking for an answer for a question on an assignment, and it brings me to, like, Chegg, and then it starts to answer the question. Then it's like, become a Chegg premium member if you want to see the rest of this answer. It's like, oh, God, what the heck? How am I supposed to work with that? There's just so much fluff and bullshit with the internet that's hard to get through. That sometimes it's nice to get a straight answer or just see like the implementation of like a certain line of code that I wouldn't have known otherwise. So like if something's really basic, I'll just program it myself. Like all the programs I make for this channel, for example, with like auto hotkey when I'm doing like the sound effects and stuff like that. That's super simple. I just type it up myself. Like what's the big deal? But if it's some sort of implementation that I've never tried before, like interfacing with an Excel document, I'll just ask ChatGPT like, hey, how do I do that? And it spits me out an answer. I paste it into my code and it's like, okay, I've now opened, read the document and closed it. And now I can code manually whatever I need to code, you know? Oh yeah, I do agree there are interesting uses for AI to do menial and long work, like that Excel you said, or instead of sending undergrads to scan a ton of old 300-page documents looking for a specific thing, yeah, just track down exactly what you need to find. I do find that, I'm sure it'll get better over time, but things like ChatGPT do currently, last time I would have tried it for coding would have been well over a year ago at this point, so maybe it's improved since then. But at that point, well over a year ago, it would make a lot of mistakes with its coding. It would be generally on the right track, but it would make a lot of mistakes. It'd be kind of sloppy, but it'd be easy to look at and be like, okay, well, here's the functionality I didn't know how to use before. All these little mistakes are really easy to see what's going on here. Let's go ahead and bug fix that. And I'm sure that there's a lot of companies that are also doing that nowadays where it's like, let's just replace the entry level programmers and just have like a bunch of bug fixers that bug fix the crap that the AI is spitting out, as I was able to learn firsthand how easy that is to do. Anyway, do we want to still play Metal Gear here? We've gotten a little bit sidetracked when it comes to the future of this content creation channel stuff and what my future prospects for a job look like. I had my Taekwondo instructor actually tell me yesterday. We've chatted a little bit before about me looking for a job here. And he actually asked me yesterday after class if I could send him my resume because he was chatting with a group that's actually looking for a computer person and thought that I might be a good fit. So earlier today, I actually sent my Taekwondo instructor my resume for him to pass along there and put in a good word. So that'd be awesome if that panned out or something. That would be really cool. I just hope the AI bubble explodes soon. They want to add AI into everything when most things don't need it. Reminds me of the NFT bubble there was before AI. Yeah, another absolutely ridiculous bubble. But at least AI is a lot more applicable instead of just being stupid like NFTs, you know? Like, there are absolutely applicable uses of AI, and it's definitely another situation, thinking about black and white situations, where things are absolutely not black and white. You can't just be like, oh yeah, let's just not use that. Like, no, that's not realistic. But at the same time, we can't be embracing it so strongly that we hurt our long-term prospects. And the fact that all this generative AI stuff is coming up shortly after COVID, and like the fact that we're in this shortly after post-COVID world, having still screwed up so much stuff with like the job market and everything, and it's not a great time to be someone in my position of, you know, graduating university and figuring out what the hell do I do now. You know, what is this game that I'm playing again?
I see him.
Oh shit! I'm dead. I thought there was more guys. Mine detector? It was just in this random corner? I think I'm injured here. That's definitely more applicable, but they still want to add it to more things that need it. Whoa. Then need it, I assume that's supposed to say? Let's stop being insensitive here with this face paint. Sure, tree bark. Give me this splitter. And okie doke, take care of their state. I'm probably gonna wrap up this stream. Dang it, man. I'll probably wrap up this stream relatively shortly because I still have to water things. I might restart from last checkpoint. Is what I might just do here. Yeah, I still need to go out and water things both here and at my Oma's place. And then during an earlier cutscene there, my mom was texting me asking if we should go and grab a bite to eat at some restaurant today. And there's a new place that we were thinking about trying out, so might just do that. But I'll come back later tonight to either stream this game or Kirby Star Cross World, since that's the new releases there. There isn't like a way that I can climb up, is there?
I see him.
Hold on, if I made a beeline out of here really fast, like what's the approach here? Also, how would you do this on European Extreme, where you just don't get seen? If there's a way to not get seen ever in this game, that means there's a way to do this without being seen, surely. Hold on, I'm just getting info this time. I'm just getting information. Okay, I can't go through. Whoops, what have I done? Hold on, I'm just gathering information this time. I'm just getting information. I can't climb up this. Oh, I reset my face paint and stuff. Ow. Ow. How do I get out of here? Maybe this is a case where it wouldn't count for European Extreme, and it wants me to use the pistol I just got, considering there was such an elaborate cutscene with him thirsting over that gun. So it wants me to use like an actual gun now and shoot my way out of here. Is what it maybe wants me to do. Like, oh, is it not automatically equipped? Here, just like, boop, boop. Like that's gonna change all that much here. Yeah, so there's the silence pistol, and then this. Well, I may as well have them both equipped here anyway. But yeah, try using the place where Ava left. Can I? Versus the Ocelot unit. Oh, I can see tips. Defeat all the Ocelot unit soldiers to be able to safely escape with Ava. Stunning or knocking them unconscious works too. Use the hatchets in the floor to drop down and work your way around to their blind spot. What do you mean use them? It's giving me no option to interact. What? Wait, jump down? Whoa, wait. Oh, yeah, I can there. But yeah, I know I'm in the same place you are, and it's hell on earth, especially when it comes to mental health. Hopefully you can resolve it on your end soon. I appreciate that there. And yeah, across the whole job market plus channel situation, it is definitely a big mental health toll, and, you know, questioning oneself, and, you know, questioning one's abilities. Like, are you truly good enough? Stuff like that, having a lot of self-doubt. So jobs plus channel stuff can make it really easy to have those kinds of thoughts. Whoa, what the hell be going on? Also, AI talk reminds me back to when Palworld came out last year, and every Twitter/Nintendo says Pokemon DeviantArt Mark kept accusing Palworld for using AI for their pals. Yeah, one of those things where it's like, it's not even true, but it latches on, but it's something that people latch onto because it's what they want to believe, I guess. What the heck? Face zombie? I didn't equip my thing, what is wrong with me? Okay. They're probably going to come around this way now, so I should try to flank them out another way, right? I don't have to reload, do I? It looks like I probably do, considering the bullets that I'm seeing on the bottom right there. How do I reload? Like this? Is it like the other games where you do that and then, yeah, then it's reloaded? Or maybe you just do that and then it's reloaded? I'm having muscle memory come back to me for how I played the other MGS games. Yoink. Smoke grenade. I presume that is here. But yeah. Oh yeah, I've gone as far as to question if I shouldn't start streaming in the meantime. Yeah, just to like fill the time and see if it goes anywhere. Whoa, there's a little bit of auto aim here.
What's wrong? I've got the enemy.
What do you mean what's wrong? Ah. Oh, this isn't where I went in. No, that doesn't reload it. But that does. What the hell was that? Did someone throw a grenade? Make noise.
I see him.
I'm gonna restart, but I have a good idea of how to do this. I'll probably do like this section, and then I'll probably wrap things up. But yeah. But I don't know, I'm not that talkative. I don't have a rig for it, so if you have a PlayStation or Xbox, I think that they can stream directly from console. Because I've seen people do it before. I've never tried it before because I haven't had need to. And if I ever did want to try it out with PC games, can always do something like indie games or some such. Wait, did I drop my own grenade? Is that what happened? Wait, when I was switching? I don't have those either. Whoops, not load. Just muscle memory kicking in there. Gosh dang it, wrong buttons. I want to do this thingamabob here. And then grenades here. I don't need the directional mic equipped or anything like that. So this here, please. Yeah, and then hit R2 to fire. Okay. Also consider just making a game myself. Yeah, there's definitely some people that do that. Like, ask Guzma about that. Or the Dark Deity dev. Something akin to a Fire Emblem game, but with guns. Huh. You want to make a Fire Emblem-like game on your own? Go talk to the Dark Deity dev about that. Similar situation there. Mm-hmm.
I see him.
What? No, you don't. It sounded like someone was behind me there at first. Okay, they're being weirdos over there. So that was where I went in.
I see him.
Oh. No, please. Don't mind me. I do kind of want to flank them a little bit. Hold on. Hold on a hot second. My main issue is that I suck at art, so I got no clues how to get those designs to at least have a bit of experience in 2D obscure game engines, so I could use that. Yeah, I would have to figure something like that out if you were doing it completely on your own. But if you were willing to commission other people, you could always go to a place like Fiverr or something like that. R1 switch view. Oh, I gotcha. You just continue to shoot the wall, my dude? Let's not go accidentally dropping in your grenades. Why is my reticle so weird? Hello? I don't know what I just shot, but whatever it was, it's a great thing I shot it. He's running, so... Okay, I've got a little bit of spread on that. Better for a close range thing. Probably use like a rifle for something farther. I have no idea what the heck that was. Suddenly Michael Bay. Commission would be an amazing, probably just more upfront cost, and you know, when you don't have a job that becomes more of a luxury. Yeah, that's fair there. It would be an amazing solution. Yeah. No, I get that feel. Down we go. Yeah, this time is the time, surely, right? Man, this when I cut this up into parts, this is going to be so long of rambling and so little of actual Metal Gear Solid Delta gameplay, isn't it? But that's what happens with these streams. That's why they're so much fun. Right? As we talk about all the issues going on in the world/life. Here, maybe I'll... Do I not have... I can't climb up that, really? Man. Rambling and cutscenes more than gameplay. Yeah. Because it wasn't already long enough with the cutscenes. Whoa. The rambling will make it even longer. So was there someone over here or something? When there was an alert thing over there. So my health will slow... Yeah, I see it slowly going up there. Based on, like, my current stamina. My god, chill out! Oh, I ate another bullet there. Wait, is someone behind me? When did that guy get here? Am I dead? I am dead. It took a little while. Hold on, but I'm getting better at this. I'm learning. Bear with me here. I was thinking about pulling out a grenade and seeing how exactly I throw that. And when I see them all clumped up in a group, I should totally be tossing a grenade. So I should totally be doing. Here. And then... Go ahead and say, do these. Sure. Also, did you hear there's a game that's basically Star Fox 64 called Wild Blue, and one of the devs is a Star Fox dev? I did not actually hear that. Interesting. Yeah, versus the Ocelot unit. So 10 of them. Don't worry, I'ma do it. Yeah, graphically, it is definitely a big difference compared to the original game. It still has a bit of that kind of PS2 era feel. Like, obviously, it has, like, the new controls, like, being able to aim like a modern action game while still moving and stuff like that. as opposed to the original where it's like you have to stay completely still and then you get free aiming. So of course there's differences with that, but it's still, in terms of like general movement and stuff like that, it does still kind of feel like PS2 kind of era game. I'm not saying that as like a complaint, just saying that it doesn't have like a fully modern feel necessarily. And so it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. It's not going to be like other kind of modern action games I might play. Should a game out on Steam and the PUBG game as well? Maybe. Incendiary grenades light enemies on fire, stuns them temporarily. There's a radio frequency interference. So, if there's a whole clump of them, like, here... What? Why'd that, like, stun me when I pulled the pin? Well, that's 2 taken down. So that works pretty well. I was hoping it'd be more, but... Can I shoot them, like, through a thing? Would that ever kill? Well, I just wasted all that, didn't I? Here. This guy, please. This guy, please. Please. Whoops, wrong way here. Dang it. I went the wrong way, thinking that I was pressing the right way. So then I open it up, and then I hit the opposite direction, and then it went the same way. So I don't understand. But yeah. WP grenade is both incendiary and smoke? WP stands for white phosphorus. One of the worst things ever used in combat. Oh. I wonder if on the lower difficulties you do get like a radar showing people. Because I'm used to seeing radars in Metal Gear games, but maybe because I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, I don't get that. Yeah, very Last of Us Grounded thing where I need to actually figure out where the guys are myself. Well, it definitely was not worth it loading all those rounds into that guy's foot. How about you don't? Oh, it just has no radar then. Okay. So it's just an MGS3 thing in that case. Ah! So... there's gotta be a better way to reload. So, I mean... technology hasn't been invented yet. Oh, that would be true, too. Though, I mean, has there ever really been a technology that shows you exactly where every single other person is around you that are your enemies? Maybe that's a thing. Ow, that probably wasn't worth. So... huh? Huh? Oh, there's a guy up high. According to Metal Gear 1 and 2, yes it has. Ah, yes. The best sources of historical accuracy. Pretty sure there is with pulse Doppler or laser or infrared. Oh yeah, that could well be the case. Well, yeah, definitely nowadays with like camera and AI could potentially do so. Well, they would have to be within your sight, or the sight of the camera, for AI to be able to get it. But I mean, with something like... what... I guess LiDAR. Oh, that's where that bullet from up above was coming. LiDAR would still just be the area. No, does LiDAR go around It's been a while since I looked into LiDAR stuff. It's been since like my Earth and Atmospheric Science classes has been the case. If recall facial recognition AI goes back to like 70s or 80s. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I know what LiDAR is, but I was just thinking like, if there's a wall here, but a way around the wall, would a LiDAR that's placed over here be able to tell what's on the other side of the wall by continuing to bounce around and map out like a 3D model that way? Or would it just be like the stuff in the area around it there? Mr. Dudo that's up there, how would I get him? Could I just like snipe him? Oh, yes I can. Wait. Okay, well, I mean, I need to look into it again one of these days. With the classes that I took in university, I should know the answer to how it works. But I don't remember. What about Gligar? Good question. How does Gligar work? Maybe we could use Gligar technology to tell where the enemies are. We should try that out. Have a Have our scientists considered that, maybe? Here, do this briefly. Don't mind me. Glad score better. Boop. I'll take that. I thought I saw a dude on the left there for a second. Can I go under this? Oh, I can. Okay. Whoops. I got up a little early there, it looks like. Dang it. I was trying to lead that with like one quick shot to the body just to prevent him from shooting me, and then taking time to line up a headshot. But I messed up the lining up the headshot part. Is this what I shot before? Yes, but he wasn't close enough. Okay, so something like that. There's one guy left. There's no way I lose at this point now, right? Where is the last guy? I thought I saw something just on the other side of this wall for a second, but it could just be the tree as I was moving. Yeah, I think it was. Hello? Mr. Last Dudo. Where could you be? Also, I don't know why me shooting those barrels made it explode when those guys shooting the barrels did absolutely nothing. There's no way I'll lose at this point. Famous last words. Wait, have I left the suppressor on this darn thing? What the hell is wrong with me? I didn't need the suppressor here. I've just been wasting durability on the darn thing. Almost tempted to restart for that reason, but I won't. I think I'll clear this section and then go water plants. Oh, he's just been here. Well, I mean, why not? Oh, I was gonna run over there and CQC him. Apparently the stun grenade was enough to do it.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Wow, he really obsessing over that moment then, huh?
That's the stance. I don't think so. What? A female spy? This bitch is wearing perfume. Stay where you are. I've had enough of your judo.
Oh, he got a revolver.
Single action army.
That's right. There'll be no accidents this time.
You call that an accident? Well, it wouldn't have happened if you hadn't been showing off.
What did you say?
It's a nice gun, I'll give you that. But the engraving gives you no tactical advantage whatsoever. Unless you were planning to auction it off as a collector's item. And you're forgetting one more very basic thing. You don't have what it takes to kill me.
We'll see.
That thing only carries 6 shots. The Makarov carries 8. You have to get a feel for how many you have left. This is a high-class weapon. It's not meant for shooting people.
Damn! This isn't over yet.
Don't.
Why?
He's still young.
You'll regret stopping me. Damn it! I've got to get back before he does.
Well, dang. The cutscenes of this game are so good, aren't they? Yeah, don't. Why? Because it would create a game paradox and it would be game over. Yeah, I won't let you game over me right there. My suppressor's kind of low on durability here. Huh. Well, I'm sure there's a way to get new suppressors or craft or something like that. I don't know. I have nothing in the cages. If I really need to eat, I have that one snake from earlier, I think. What? No, I don't have my snake anymore! I guess my inventory changed after the intro to the game was done. Gosh dang it. They want me to go in... go in fresh here. They didn't want me to have my snake from before. Gosh dang it. Lame. Where do I save? What? I'm sure it auto-saved at this point, but like... Well, since the last save will be lost? Well, this is the last save now, right? I better go through one of these load zones really quickly just in case. So you opened up a new path with this. Because I know it auto-saves after I go through load zones. Because, yeah, I think I want to save. Go get to watering things. Go grab some dinner. Come back here. And if I had to choose which of the two games between this and Kirby Star-Crossed Worlds I'd rather play, I'd rather play this, honestly. I think this is the game that I would enjoy playing more of. Okay, so now it's saved me here. Yeah, look at that. I wish it specifically said autosave or something there. Oh yeah, you're right! I'm dumb! Man, I haven't played Metal Gear in so long! You are absolutely correct! I'm so rusty with my Metal Gear, aren't I? Yes, please. Yeah, I'll just do a manual save here. Whatever. Here we go.
Do you know the creature
But
from
now
the
we're gonna hear about a
African?
movie again.
Nope, never heard of it.
These scientists are investigating
Man,
a place deep
I'm
in
a
the
fake Metal
Amazon
Gear
called
fan,
the
aren't
Black
I?
Lagoon, and they get picked off one after the other by this fishman thing. And there was this scene when the heroine is going for a swim, and the creature sneaks up on her.
Yay,
from the water.
movies.
Oh,
We get
I
one
thought
last
my heart was
movie
going to
discussion
stop.
before I wrap up the stream.
I mean, of course, the 3D effects in It Came from Outer Space were a lot more intense, but
It wouldn't be referring to you coming from outer space, would it?
how rude! Why do you say that?
Because no one on Earth could be as charming as you.
Fine. I'll just get to the point, Snake. Be careful of what's around you when you're in the water. Just imagining you swimming in those jungle
Well, I think the
rivers
water
and
itself
getting
is a big
attacked by a
threat.
Fishman.
I
Considering
appreciate the
my
concern.
face goes under the water and I just
Someone else
immediately
can
drown as I
attack you in the
found out.
water. Really be careful out there.
So I wouldn't be as
Okay.
concerned about the things in the
And
water
don't
as much
be
as the
attacking
water
any
itself.
cute girls going for a swim either.
Are you calling me a fish man?
You started it.
Well, damn, that rizzed. Well, I'll wrap it up here for now. It's... How hot is it right now, anyway? 31 degrees outside. You know, here in central Alberta, when we get a hot summer, that usually means it's going to be around, like, maybe 25 degrees Celsius, something like that. Like, that's a hot day. It's 31 degrees Celsius right now, whatever that is in Fahrenheit. Let me do the extra work for the American audience. Let's see here. 31C to F. How much is that in Fahrenheit? 87.8. I swear, it feels like I have American viewers coming in here all the time saying that they're hitting, like, the 90s in Fahrenheit. They're at, like, 98, 99. So maybe my hot temperatures here pale in comparison. But sure is hot here. It feels 27 Celsius here. I love living in the mountains. Yeah, that'd probably be very nice there. 31.76 for me. Well, if it's going to be a directly 31, like treating it like 31 Fahrenheit, that's below freezing, right? What? I don't remember what freezing is in Fahrenheit. We don't use freedom units here. Anyway, I guess I'm going to wrap things up here for now. So I'll be back later with either some more Kirby Star-Crossed Worlds or this game. Probably this game. This is the game that I kind of want to play more between the two. I wouldn't mind playing some more of this tonight. So one way or another, I would like to be back streaming tonight because this is fun, you know. So until later here.